18 पाप: प्राणातिपात, मृषावात, अदत्तादान, मैथुन, परिग्रह, क्रोध, मान, माया, लोभ, राग, द्वेष, कलह, अभ्याख्यान, पैशून्य, पर परिवात, रति अरति, माया, मृषा, मिथ्या दर्शन, शल्य.
The first Paap-Sthanak is Pranatipat, which means violence. What is violence? Violence is any type of behavior involving physical force intent to hurt or damage someone or something. Violence can affect one's life and can ruin their physical and mental health. There are many reasons why violence is a big issue today. Anger, hatred, and lack of attention or respect are some of them. We've been facing COVID-19 recently. Because of this infection, we have to stay in our houses and people are losing their jobs. They don't have money to survive and some of them get aggressive, which leads to violence. To handle the situation, we should be patient and calm ourselves down. Have faith in our God and pray for this virus to stop. We should not celebrate our Diwali festival with fireworks. It causes harm to small insects as well as air and noise pollution, which is a form of violence. That's why we should celebrate with family gatherings, making good food and helping the poor people.
Thank you so much. And I think non-violence is the basis of Jainism. So it's a very, very important thing.
Telling a lie. Mrusha means lying, and Vad means talking or telling. And for that cause, I'll be saying a story for an example. And this story is about 4 boys.
Mm-hmm.
They had an exam in a few weeks and days, and they had not studied for it at all. So they had decided to lie to their teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So that they had gone out last night and their car's tire got punctured. And the teacher was just like, oh, you guys can take the weight off your shoulders and take the exam tomorrow and stuff. And she had trust on them. And then on the next day, she all split them up in different rooms. And then she had a question paper with only 2 questions. 1, your name, and 2, which tire of the car had been punctured. And because of that, all of the boys had got different answers and they got caught. So then the teacher did not trust them and they had failed their class. So this is why you do not do Mrushabad, as there are many
example, very, very creative example. Yes,
thank you.
Remember one thing, that whenever you lie, it can probably save you for that moment, but it will surely not save you for a long time. Okay, and when you're caught, then it's even worse, because then you'll be even embarrassed. You've obviously, Papan Bandushe, you have to think before you do an action. Wonderful, Viana. Thank you so much.
Mrushavar means not telling the truth. Why fall into this trap which could take years to free yourself from? This door into the forest is the easiest way out, but has the key which is hardest to find. Asking for forgiveness for lying is, I believe, 10 times harder than for Dvesh, for example. This is because once you've broken someone's trust, your relationship with them has a chance of never being the same again. You may ask for forgiveness, but lying hurts someone so deeply inside that it is very hard for them to honestly forgive you. If they don't, it could ignite a spark which could lead to many other paths, including Dvesh, Kalaha, and Maya Mrushavar. Just ask yourself, do you really want to tear up a relationship because you want the easy way out? Or would you choose to go a little further, work a little harder, and still be happy? I know what I would choose.
Wonderful. Thank you, Urvansh. As they say that probably when you have a friend and you break their trust once, so, if you have a rope, there is always a little knot, whenever you break somebody's trust. So it is very hard then to untie that knot. So try and not make sure that you don't create a knot. Wonderful. Thank you, Urvansh. That was wonderful. Okay. The next one, Adatta Dan. Who has Adatta? Yes, we have.
Today, I'll be talking about one of the other Paap-Sthanaks called Adatta Dan. The word Adatta Dan is made of 2 words, first word adatta, meaning without permission, and second adan, meaning to take. It means to take something without the permission of the owner. Even if you're not stealing, but you're telling somebody else to steal, will also give you bad karma. Once we start doing such things, it will be really hard for us to stop. Therefore, we should never steal because we want to make good karma and attain liberation.
Wonderful. That was really, really good, Viha. So
I also have.
Sorry, we all might think that, okay, do we all think they're thieves? No, we all think that, oh, theft is something which we would never do. But there are even little things, like for example, if your mom's phone's there, if you're using your mom's phone without permission, it is not a kind of theft, but it is a mild version of it. So you always need to take permission before you actually do something. Yes, Vedika.
Have you ever lost something that you've loved? Or have you ever took something that was not yours? Well, what if the thing that you took was somebody else's thing that they loved? Jainism is about not making anyone sad or hurt. If you took that thing, then it would make the owner sad and hurt, which is why adattadan, theft, is bad and we should not do it. Even if that thing does not belong to anybody, that does not mean it belongs to you. Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, long ago, there was a woman named Devananda, and one day she fell pregnant. But little did she know that in a past janam, she had stolen a necklace from Trishla Mata. So her baby went to Trishla Mata, and we all know who that baby is, Mavraswamy. As you can see, this small act results into not having a Tirthanka as a baby.
Wonderful. I know. See, sometimes you might think it's just a little thing. Wonderful, Vedika. It is just a little thing, but sometimes we make such big karmas that then we pay a big price for it. And then when you pay the price for it, you're like, what did I even do? You know, it was so little, but it all counts. Wonderful. Okay. This is going really well. The next one, Method.
Method means unchaste. Chaste living is important to Jains because thoughts of the other gender gets in the way of the road to moksha. Thoughts filled with passion of the other gender is so powerful that it can overcome rational thinking and produce bad karma. That is why our sadhus and sadhvis don't marry and even live in different upashrays so they can avoid contact as much as possible. For people who don't take diksha, our Jain Shravak should at least try and maintain distance in contact with the opposite gender as much as possible. Our religionist schools, Gurukul for girls and Tapovan for boys, are not co-ed. Even our Agams, religion books, talk about King Siddhartha and Queen Trishla sleeping in different rooms. Therefore, Methun means trying to control our thoughts about the other gender.
Wonderful. That is wonderful, Disha. Yes, Angi.
Pranam. My name is Angi and I am going to be talking to you about the other Paap-Sthanaks. In particular, the fourth one, Maithun. Paap-Sthanak is broken into two words, Paap and Sthanak. Paap meaning the opposite of Punya and Sthanak meaning the place he came from. A Paap-Sthanak is a place where you can get Paap from, an action or a wrongdoing. This is what the other Paap-Sthanaks are, wrongdoings that we shouldn't do. Maithun is all about the sense touch. Sadhu Mahasabs and Sadhviji Mahasabs follow this as they never touch Shravaks and Sadhu Mahasabs if they are Sadhviji Mahasabs and never touch Shravikas if they are Sadhviji Mahasabs and Sadhu Mahasabs. What is the reason for that? The reason is because they don't want to create an affection with anyone. As kids, we can follow our best by sitting separately in Pratikaman, Shravaks on left and Shravikas on right in Derasar for Chaityavan for Aarti. Same with Adhar Abhishek and most kinds of puja. This is the best of my knowledge, so if I made any mistakes during my speech, Michami Dukram. For now.
Wonderful. That is really, really good. And that was wonderful, Angi. The next one, Parigraha. Parigraha. I love this. Parigraha. Yes, Ara.
I'll be giving a speech on Parigraha today. Parigraha is possessiveness. Having unlimited possessiveness is counted as a sin. This happens when we get more than our needs because we like that item of food. For example, if you need a new shirt and you go to shops to buy one, maybe you like that shirt, you buy more, like 2 or 3. You only need one, but because you like it, you get 2 or 3. We should learn to control our desires and be happy with what we have. And we should not get more than our needs, since it causes us to want more.
Yes, that is really good. I think if you don't know, but there are many people whom I know who kind of they decide that they will buy a new piece of clothing only when they can donate from their wardrobe to somebody who is needy, right? So you don't keep adding on because, for example, if you go and open your wardrobe today, there'll be so many T-shirts or something which you probably haven't worn for the last 6 months or 8 months, and you're like, oh, it's just there. So just make sure that you kind of give before you buy for yourself. Okay, try and do that. Yes, Arav, that was wonderful.
Growth is anger. Growth is bad because when you have a feeling of anger, you're the one who isn't happy when everyone else is having fun. You're just getting angry. Another reason is you will get puffed because you're feeling bad about someone's actions, which isn't nice. The last reason is you will sooner or later regret that you felt bad about someone because when you do wrong things, you get it back. An example is people are stocking up when you go to the shops you can't find, and some people even snatch from other trolleys, and which is making the people who had the item feel very angry.
Yes, wonderful. Yes, so we don't realize that, and mostly when you get angry, after some time you do realize that what you did was wrong. So anger is something where you kind of realize, but the problem is that you realize after the damage is done. So our challenge is going to be that we try and avoid the damage for the next 2 weeks.
Okay. Growth means anger. Growth is super bad. You may think it is a little thing, but it's actually really bad. For example, if I do Beashnu, Ekashnu, or something, another one, and while I do it, I get angry, you don't get any punya or benefit. Growth is like holding a fireball. Before you throw the fireball at somebody else, you get burnt first. Same with anger. You get angry before you make somebody else angry. Growth is really harmful. For example, Chanda Koshyak, in his last janam or birth, he was a Muni, but because he got angry on one of his disciples, he became a snake and bit Bhagwan. So please try not to do growth.
Wonderful. That was a very good example too, that Chanda Koshyak, as you all know, was a Muni, and just because of growth, he actually got the bow of a snake. So just imagine, just one time he got angry, and how many times we get angry. It's amazing that there's so much of a difference, and also that's the way to go. Growth is nothing but a ball of fire. What happens when you hold a ball of fire? Who gets burnt first? Ourselves, isn't it? Before you throw it, your hands get burnt. So remember that. Wonderful. Yes, Kiara.
Growth is the sixth of the Adhar Paap-Sthanaks. When anger flares, we lose our sense of judgment. Due to anger, friends become foes. When no one wants to help an angry person. Anger nourishes the feelings of revenge. And anger damages damages our body, mind and body. It is scientifically proven that when we get angry, our heart pumps fast, blood pressure goes up, muscle tenses, and sometimes we get stomach problems. Hence, we should have a nature of love and forgiveness. Let me give you an example. As you know, there are two brothers, Kamath and Barumbhuti. in every birth, Kamat was increasing his anger to Marubhuti, but Marubhuti was calm and he had the nature of love and forgiveness. Hence, we should all try to have the nature of love and forgiveness.
That was again a wonderful example, Kiara, of Pathshala Bhagwan too, where Kamat and Marubhuti. So if you actually see the stories, like the way Chanda Kaushik, Kamat, Marubhuti, you do realize that anger actually always has very, very bad repercussions. Wonderful. Okay, let's move on. Man, who's got
Me.
me?
Okay. My name is Me and her name is Here, and we're talking about Man today. Man is eager, and I'll tell you a story about it. Once upon a time, there was in Navaswami's third bow, he was Marichi, and then he heard his grandpa talking to his great grandpa that he was gonna become a Tirthankar and his grandpa was gonna be, and then and his dad was like a Chakravarti, which is like the king of the world. So he did eager about it, and he said that, oh, I am gonna be a Tirthankar, and so is my great grandpa, or my grandpa, and my dad is a Chakravarti, and because of this, he had to go through an extensive 24 lives. Examples of Man.
Examples of Man is thinking that you're the smartest person and bragging that oh my gosh, I'm so smart. This person's not smart. I'm the smartest person in the whole world.
It's once you do it, it's hard to remove it. That's for every single part, and it's a type of arrogance. Hence, we should not do Man. And that is the end of our speech. Yeah.
That was wonderful, and I like to weave the way he said that, we always think I'm kind of the smartest, isn't it? That is always, which, that I know everything. So that was very, very nice here, and I'll kind of remember that. Yes, that you have to remember that you are not the smartest, and you don't need to have, that's a wrong feeling, or that's the start of ego in yourself. Wonderful.
All right, so my English closest translation is deceit. So here's why you shouldn't deceive. Well, the meaning of deceit is like being untrustworthy, being a fraud, or hiding a truth. There are many ways to deceive, but there are many reasons not to deceive. First, you shouldn't deceive because it makes you untrustworthy. And being untrustworthy isn't good. Because then people could stop believing in you. Like for an example, I'm sure you all know this fairy tale called The Boy Who Cried Wolf. And in this story, a boy lied about a wolf and tricked his village twice. But when there was a real wolf, he told his village, but they didn't believe him. So the wolf ate him. Second, you shouldn't deceive because there's a Jain story linked with Meetswan where Marichi, as Lord Mahavir, in one of his lives as Marichi, he lies about something which leads into many rebirths. So the story goes where Prince Kapil, he approaches Marichi for initiation to take Diksha, and then Marichi suggests him to go to Lord Rishabdev for that. But then Prince Kapil asks him, don't you have religion here? And then Marichi thought, oh, if I say yes, then maybe he'll become my disciple because there'll be religion here. So then he lied about that, and he told Prince Kapil that there is religion here. So then Prince Kapil became Marichi's disciple. And because of that lie, that leaded Marichi into many rebirths. To conclude, you shouldn't deceive because it makes you very so people won't trust you as much, and also because you get a lot of pop. Thank you for listening.
Wonderful, Krish. That was really wonderful, and I think my favorite story all time is the wolf story, which I keep saying that you call out the wolf, and I think for you all, I think the easier word what you can probably use for this is playing pranks. When you play pranks, you're like, oh, it was just a prank. I didn't mean to lie or do anything. But sometimes when you're playing pranks, when it really happens, no one's going to kind of believe you. Okay? So do remember that. That was wonderful, Krish. Thank you. Anyone else who's got fire?
I had man.
You had man. Okay, Dashi. We can talk about man. Yes.
The meaning of man is someone who brags a lot about themselves. For example, you won a competition, and after the competition, you keep on telling your other the other participants how great you are and how well you did. And you're not trying to, but you are you're making them uncomfortable and saying how bad they did and how good you did.
That is so true, isn't it? When you win something, you should always remember that there were other participants, and you need to be considerate towards everyone. That's a wonderful point, Rashi. Okay, next one. So we don't anybody else mind. So low.
Pranam everyone. My name is Deshaun, and today I will be stating reasons why you should not be greedy or have low. Firstly, low never ends, and it cannot be satisfied. If you are greedy, then you'll always want more, and you will never be content with yourself. Furthermore, if you are greedy, then you will always want more, so then you will gamble and might lose everything. And then instead of gaining something, you will lose something. Lastly, I would like to say a famous saying. It reads, whether you have a Suzuki or a BMW, the road remains the same. Whether you travel economy class or business, your destination doesn't change. Whether you have a Titan or a Rolex, the time is the same. There's nothing wrong in dreaming a luxurious life. What needs to be taken care of is not let the need become greed, because need can always be met, but greed can never be fulfilled. In conclusion, low will always only bring you to your own wrath, and you always need a line distinguishing need and greed. So you should not be greedy. Thank you.
Wonderful, Dishan. I think I love the examples you gave. That whether you have a watch, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, a watch or a car is probably just going to take you from place A to B, or kind of just show you the time. That was wonderful examples which we all can kind of relate to in real life.
Pranam, my name is Jia, and I'm going to be talking about the 10th Adar Paap-Sthanak, which is Rag. Rag means having attachment towards a material or object. An example for Rag is, suppose you have 10 dresses and you love them so much that you keep on buying them. This is Rag. You may not know it, but it is. Before you buy all of these useless things, think about it. Is it necessary? Do you really need these because of your attachment towards the dresses or whatever you are attached to? Another example is, if you have 20 hats and you keep on buying them, this is also wrong. But think of it like this. All of the hats are used for the same thing, protecting your body from skin burn. Because of your attachment, you buy more and more. But at the end of the day, you only use them for the same thing. Hopefully now you have a slight idea of what Rag might be and why you shouldn't get attached to the things that are unnecessary. Thank you.
Wonderful. That is so true, isn't it? I think if you all just realize when everyone is talking, these things are so interconnected, isn't it? Like greed, to actually being attached. So they all are kind of interconnected. So you have to make sure that you kind of don't go in those circles. Wonderful.
Pranam. Today I'm going to be explaining Dvesh. What is Dvesh? Dvesh is hatred. It means hating someone with or without reason, or intensely disliking them. The opposite of Dvesh or hatred is deeply loving someone or having a great compassion feeling for them. It also means respecting and admiring the person. Why should we not do Dvesh? The scientific part. We get more and more negative feelings and emotions towards them as the bad experiences with them pile up. We may even suffer extreme issues like early death just because of Dvesh. The Jainism part. You get a lot of power by hating someone, and as your negative feelings grow, you start hurting them mentally, physically, or by speaking. We then start telling lies, getting over angry at them, being extra egoistic, unnecessary quarreling or arguing with them, accusing them all the time, gossiping behind their back, and criticizing them for no particular reason. These are all different paps as well. Just for hating someone, is this really necessary? This is an example of dvesh and why you shouldn't do it. Say Josie and Rose are two best friends. Amy doesn't like Josie, but she does like Rose, which is Ratya Rati. Amy starts gossiping to Rose about Josie, which is Paishunya, but they are all lies, Maya Murshavad. Soon, Rosie is on Amy's side, and she starts quarreling with Josie, Kalaha, and accusing her for no reason, Abhyakyan. This continues until Rose finds out this was all a lie just to make her like Amy. She starts hating Amy, and Josie and Rose become friends once again. See how just hating one person can attract so many karmas? Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something from this.
Really very good. You exactly put my point, Desha, that they all are so interconnected. That was a very, very good example regarding the interconnection of all the parts. And yes, okay, wonderful. Next one.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jainil, and I will talk to you about Kalaha. As you all know, it means quarreling and fighting. But there is a catch. Kalaha does not mean only fighting physically, but also mentally. Let's say, for example, if I am fighting and quarreling with someone, then that is called. If I am fighting with someone mentally, that is still the same. Whoever you have rag with, you have a big chance of having Kalaha with that same person. Here is the reason why. Do you love your brothers and sisters? Do you play with them? When you play with them, do you fight over the rules? If you do, there is your rag and Kalaha in one. Here is another example with your siblings. Let's say you have a toy and your sibling takes it and accidentally loses it or breaks it. Do you start quarreling? Before you get Kalaha, you will have growth. Let's take the sibling example, and he and she has lost or broken your toy. So you get angry and then you quarrel. Which house has Kalaha and quarreling? Lakshmi won't come or stay. Here is an example for it. Recently, Deepak uncle has talked about Dhanya Kumar. Dhanya Kumar's brothers always had fights over money. Every time that happened, Dhanya Kumar used to avoid the Kalaha and leave the house, and so as the Lakshmi Devi. So friends, this is one of the many reasons why not to do Kalaha. Even Mahavir Swami was not spared by the Kalaha. In his 18th above, he had 1,600 wives, and what did not love Tripushta Vasudev, who is Mahavir Swami, is one in this story. And because of that, he had Kalaha with her, even in his book of Vardhaman Swami. So friends, now do you know why not to do Kalaha? I hope you do.
Wonderful, Jainil. That was really good. And I really like the way you gave like a real life example of a brother so we all can kind of relate to it. And then even Dhanya Kumar's story of which we most of us have been listening to. And it's been so amazing. Great job, Jainil.
Pranam, my name is Viha, and today I'll be talking about why we shouldn't do the 13th Paap-Sthanak, which is Abhyakyan. Abhyakyan, it means false accusations or lying to hide the truth. For example, if you broke someone's toy and the person who owned that thing didn't know who broke it, and you said someone else broke it, even when you did the crime. This is called false accusations. You shouldn't do this, Paap, because you are knowingly lying and hurting someone else's feelings by falsely blaming. I hope you don't do this, Paap, in the future. Thank you.
Yes, very, very, very good, Viha. That is so true, isn't it? We are very, I think, it doesn't sound it's connected, but we are so ready to blame somebody else, isn't it? It wasn't my fault is our first sentence when we are caught doing something, isn't it? Because we want to accuse somebody else. Wonderful job, Viha. Okay, next. Anyone else who is Abhyakyan? Unmute yourselves just in case if anybody doesn't know. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Paishunya. Gossiping. Yes, Kian. What do we have?
Paishunya is gossiping. Gossip is when someone tells you a story and they tell you not to pass it around, but you pass it around. It's fine to talk about people but say positive things. Gossip is a way about talking about someone that can lead to that person feeling unhappy or angry. Don't talk about people rude or even unnecessary. Not to talk bad about people. Thank you.
Wonderful. I think which is so important. And I think, the way to realize this is I've always realized you can only talk bad about that person when that person is not there. So remember, when you're talking about somebody who isn't present and you're talking about that person, you are gossiping. Okay? So for example, if I have a friend and if I feel bad, it's best to go to her directly and tell her that, look, this is what I felt. But if I felt bad with person A and I go to person B saying that, look what she did to me, then I'm gossiping. Okay? So you just make sure that it's not behind somebody's back. Wonderful. Anyone else with question here?
I do.
Yes, Adi.
Pranam, my name is Adi and today I'm going to be talking about the 14th Adar Paap-Sthanak. Paishanya. Paishanya means telling other people bad qualities of someone else when it is not necessary. It's a wastage of time. It creates a bad habit because instead of talking good things about others, you talk about the bad things. An example is that you tell someone your friend is crazy. Your friend won't be your friend again. You will also get paap. If you talk good things of others, you get the good qualities. If you talk bad things, you get the bad qualities. Do you want good qualities or bad qualities? Pranam.
I think Adi's talk reminds me of the example you had last time, isn't it? That when you have the sweet, so if you do sweet things, sweet comes back to you. But if you do something salty, then the salty comes back to you. Very, very good, Adi. And that was a very real life example and words like, when your friend is crazy, I mean, that's words you use to that. That's really good. That's a wonderful example. Okay.
Vati means happiness. When you get an iPad, you're all Vati. And all Vati means sadness. When you lose an iPad or when you don't get the iPad, you're Vati. You should not be worried about Vati. And you should worry about your soul. You should live in a neutral state where you don't have Vati. Thank you for listening.
Oh, very, very nice, Veer. That's a perfect example that, when you're given your iPad, you're so happy, isn't it? You actually like having your iPad. And the same thing happens that when your iPad is taken away, you like your world's gone away, So it is very, very nice example, Veer. Par Parivar.
Par Parivar. Par Parivar is the 16th evil karma of 18 of Paap-Sthanak. It is formed of two words. Par means the other person and Par Parivar means to criticize. It means criticize others purposely. Many people do nothing but criticize others. Instead of admiring others, they always find fault instead. It creates unnecessary friction, cultivates anger in the people, and can lead to unfortunate events. We should not do this because doing it, we are hurting others. If we tell someone they are wrong and find fault, it will do nothing to them but hurt them badly. Par Parivar can be used in a good way. Let's say if I tell someone you're crazy, but not in a bad way. In this 18 Paap-Sthanak Sutra, we are asking forgiveness for the evil karma if we have done it intentionally, non-intentionally, and if we have asked someone to do it. Thank you for listening.
Very, very nice, Hamish, and especially when you said that, we are so easy to fall with people so easily, isn't it? Than the good things. And sometimes that person might have 10 good things and one bad thing, but what will we focus on? That one bad thing. So, as he said, it is very important that we don't criticize people. Yes, Vedika?
I was just saying that on a white wall, people don't look at the white wall, but they look at the one black spot on the white wall.
Absolutely the perfect example. Yes, that's what I said. That, something has 10 good things, but one bad thing makes everything bad, like that one black dot. Wonderful, Vedika. Very nice example. Okay. The 17th one, Maya Mrushavad. You're about how I'm enjoying. Yes, Aryan.
Hi everyone, my name is Aryan and today I'll be talking about the 18 Paap-Sthanaks, especially the 17th one, Maya Mushadbat. Maya Mushadbat means going to hurt or like hurt them, and you can also like make them like you can also hurt their feelings too. And yeah,
that is so true. It's malice is where you are deceiving somebody. Yeah, so it is when you have wrong intentions from within, and then your actions follow the same. Wonderful. Okay, we're on to the last one. Who has the last one?
I have the last one.
Yes, sir.
Pranam friends, happy Mother's Day. My name is Arif Shah and I will explain what Maya Mithya Darshan is to you. What Mithya Darshan is to you today. Mithya Darshan is to believe in wrong things and not to believe in right things. There are 3 words here. Mithya means wrong or false. Darshan means to believe or to see. Shalya means thought. This means believing in false things will never make us happy. It'll always make us unhappy like a thorn. If you believe in false things, if you believe in false teachers, they will teach you wrong things and not Jain things. If you believe in false or wrong activities, it will make you do wrong activities that will bring you paap. Here is an example. Say you earn money by doing wrong things like gambling. You will get paap. So we need to replace wrong things with the right things. Thanks everyone for listening to me.
Wonderful. That is true, isn't it? When you learn wrong things, you will obviously follow wrong things. That's a wonderful